Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a special video. We're going to have two PvP scenarios to show. One was my first fight with my current build, and the second is where I show different aspects of what I've been talking about with consumables, also distance control and various other bits and pieces. I was basically at this fight just to fight. But this video is to celebrate hitting over 100 subscribers, and I just want to thank everyone for the kind words and the support, and I hope this video does that, and it should be a fun one. So let's get into it, and at the end I'll show you the build. So the first fight. So I'm going to start from where I'm at the port with this one. This way you guys can see sort of how I plan my intercept, how I maneuver with the wind. When I'm starting this one out, I don't have favorable wind whatsoever. Now what I could do is I could head directly towards him, but what I opt to do is sort of head slightly away from him to come in at an angle that's a little bit better with the current wind situation. So you can see I'm doing that here. Sort of try to get into a way that I can turn almost 90 degrees, directly heading towards him. So we're heading out. We're only at 12, which isn't great, but I feel like at this point here soon I should be able to turn in on him. And this is where we begin the chase. So we're turning in, we're picking up our speed, we're here 18. I'm going to pop water for the speed boost and give myself some extra stam, and we start engaging. I do love seeing a mortar come down like that. It does look pretty cool. So as we're coming in, he fires his rockets at me. They're really hard to hit, but they were pretty close to my sail set. It was pretty good by him. And so we're tracing him here into this pretty beautiful part of the map. Actually, coming in here is pretty cool. Fighting here, I'm lining up some shots. I'm trying to make these count. He gets a pretty good pair of blocks there to deny me the damage on him, and we fire a mortar in. He evades the mortar, and I fire a couple more shots at him. We managed to connect those, and now there's a third player here. The third player goes for a ram. I go and ram the third player so he can't damage me. We get 6,000 on him, and I'm trying to line up another shot, and I enter the safe zone. I was trying to shoot at that point. I was not very happy, so now I'm trying to rush out, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you can shoot me. I'm trying to line up a shot, and the port insta hits him. It was rather unfortunate. I would have preferred to have a fight. So as we're exiting here, we're going to grab the treasure map, and we're going to start getting some distance. And in my head, at the start of this, I was thinking, okay, we've won. We're heading the pole. We've got loads of range on these players, and we have the speed too. And there's not really too much to worry about at this point. But what I am thinking about is maybe I should slow down and fight both these players. So I have the range here, and I don't really super care if I get the treasure map or not. So what I end up doing is slowing down. So you can see here I'm starting to slow down. And I'm going to allow these players to catch up, and we're going to re-engage them. I'm going to try and maintain my advantage here, which my advantage is my range. So I'm going to try and keep range. I'm going to use my mortar. This guy's actually juking quite a bit of my stuff. He jukes my mortar strikes. I send in a range shot and then hit him with the next 3 shots. It's something you can try to use when you're shooting, is shoot a range shot and then use that to kind of get a good, decent leading. So here we're pressuring him. He gets close to this, I don't know, world boss, whatever it is, and I don't know if he hit them, ran them, shot them. I don't know if they attack you if you get too close, but I think they're attacking him, and I'm attacking him. So as you will see here, he took one for the team, that's for sure. So we managed to pick up the kill on him, and I'm thinking, well, this guy did die pretty terribly there, and I feel pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in on him and give him a fight, like a proper fight, so he can try and fight for this flag. Granted, he is at a severe disadvantage, not having his HP, but I've killed full HP people with higher ranked ships with less HP, so you can do it. Not all the time. I'm not saying, you know, everyone's invincible, but so here we are. We're pressuring this guy. We get a good volley here on his pass. I'm not sure what happened with him. I think maybe he was fixated on me. Here, this is actually pretty... I like this volley because I managed to shoot it around that ship so we don't get the aggro from him. Here, we're going to fire some more pressuring shots. And I'm thinking I want to get in on him. I want to get close to him. He does have demi cannons, so I'm going to give him a sort of chance to try and burst me down. We're both in the fight now. We come in, we get a really good volley. I'm going to shoot him with now my back two cannons, and now we're going to get another broadside onto him as I'm turning. So I'm broadsiding and turning at the same time to come in for the ram just for that extra bit of damage, and then we'll finish him off with another broadside. And that will be that for this fight. And on to the second scenario. So quickly before we talk about this one, the previous scenario that we were in, that was literally, I just got my ship to rank 11. And that was sort of the first fight that I got into it. So this one, I've had a couple of other fights before this one. So this one we're going in, and we're pretty much just going in for the PvP, and you guys can be the judge of this, but I feel like most of the people in this fight were sort of in the same boat. Everyone just sort of wanted to shoot each other, so it was a pretty fun one coming in. I kind of like this, that we're in a storm and we're hunting down this player here. So we're coming in, and there is a second player with me hunting this player. He's not in a party with me. I am going to have to destroy his ship. But as we come in, we're trying to line ourselves up so that we don't sort of lose track of where this guy is. He shoots off. So we're coming in. We're going to put a pressuring mortar shot out on him and start broadsiding him. We got a ton of good damage on him. We got the rears on him and then another broadside on him. And now we're going to turn to make sure we don't lose him because he is turning away from us. This other player is coming across. He's also helping out, and we're pretty much just going to sandwich this player in. It's a little. It just happens, you know. Sometimes you gotta be the ham to the sandwich. So he gets obliterated, and now I try to start work on this other player. But I was hoping that my shots would go through the decaying boat or whatever, but it didn't go to plan. So here we are. I'm putting some pressure on. He's firing over rockets at me. He's also got fire bombards. I feel like most people had fire bombards or some fire bombards on their boats. Here I'm going to cleanse the ablaze effect. He managed to set me on fire, so I was just clearing it off just to reduce some of the incoming damage he's putting on me. And I use a repair kit, the enhanced repair kit, too there. And you'll see me balancing my repair kits as I go through this fight. I get stuck in on these two. I just, you know, like I said, I'm here for the PvP, so I get stuck in on these two. And what happens there is people start to turn on me. So I'm fighting this guy here. I'm doing quite a bit to him. He's pretty low, and he goes for a heal. I'm not sure which heal that is. I'm not doing too hot, so I'm getting pretty evasive. I've luckily managed to get a crew attack off on him, get a heal, pop my enhanced repair kit 1, and here they're both going for me. Now here I don't see people doing this. I've maneuvered 90 degrees to my left and I'm crossing over these two players. And with that, I'm now in a favorable position. One of them's taken huge damage. I get a pressuring mortar shot out, and I'm starting to get a little bit of distance here. And you can see now I've given myself a little distance, a little bit of control there, and we're back on pressuring some of these players. So I have used my repair kit, so I do have to be mindful, but it is going to be coming off on 5 seconds. I go for a ram on this player. I'm not sure how it didn't do a whole lot, but there was that. So we shoot off. I'm not sure how we were picked. I think because of the storm we were hitting up to 20 knots there, and we're shooting off just to get a little bit of distance. I'm gonna have to repair my ship, and I would be in a pretty sticky situation if I was in there in between 3 ships and I've just used a repair kit. So I'm giving myself a little distance and I'm circling around, and now I'm gonna come in and re-engage. So I'm gonna go for this player here. He's put himself into an isolated position, so I am just gonna come in and finish him off. I believe this is one of the 2 guys that were chasing me just a little bit ago. So I'm chasing him down, hunting him down. He's not popped any repair kits yet, which means that he's popped the largest repair kit, and he's on a 1 minute and 30-second cooldown. So here I'm just going to start just putting a lot of pain on this player, trying to get him out of the fight as quickly as possible. A rogue ship tries to come and steal my kill, so I'm going to make sure I hit these 2 shots and peel off as I head towards the other 2 players. So here I'm trying to, get my bearings, see what's happening. Where did the other 2 players go? They've sailed off shooting each other, and I believe that I can catch them with the wind being very much in my favor here. So we give ourselves the correct heading, and this is why I love the brigantine. I'm going to pop my water, and now we're going 20 knots, just absolutely blasting through the water here. And we've pretty much getting in range to catch these 2 players. So this guy's just died, and he's coming up, and I wanted to get a cheeky ram on him as I'm heading to the other player, but he manages to get going pretty quickly, so that's not going to work out. So I'm going to put a little pressure on him, and I'm not purposely putting myself, but I am in a position where I'm kind of sandwiched, so these 2 could go for me here. So now I'm broadsiding the other player, getting some damage on him. He has taken a large amount of damage. They both have. And I know that they're both going to use their repair kit. So I'm going to go try again to get up on this player over here. I just wanted to ram him. I'm going to be honest. I just wanted to give him a good ram. So we're getting in close. We're trying to intercept him. He's putting in a lot of fire on me. We're doing our best to be evasive, but I still have to catch him. So, there's a sort of line you have to draw yourself. So here we go. We're pushing him heavily here. We're going to heal up and start pressuring this player. We got a pretty decent volley there on him as he's crossing. That was pretty satisfying to do. And we're basically just chasing him down. I was hoping he would get a little bit more. Like, I really want to be under a lot of pressure here. He's using fire bombards. You can see him. He's hitting my sails, though. So he's not actually damaging my ship. I'm setting him on fire. Coming in for another volley, but the fire manages to kill him. And we head off to our next target. So we see this target here. I'm going to preemptively pop my tier 1 repair kit, which is a 20-second cooldown. It gives me 4 to 5 for a little bit. As I'm coming in on this guy, he's going to do 35% less damage to me. Come in for the ram, get a good ram on him, and you can see the sort of like burst potential I have with this build. It is so fun to use. So here we're going to get a good broadside on him, shoot him with the bow chasers, and unfortunately I won't be able to kill this player. I wish I could have just a little bit more time. I'm playing super aggressive on this player, but the coin holder managed to get to the port or something, and this fight is over. So on to the build. So let's talk about the build. But before we do that, I'm going to just touch on the 2 videos we just watched. So I hope you did enjoy those. The second video, I did do my best to get stuck in and pretty much show the ship and the build and sort of how effective it is on the field. Now, obviously, you got to be smart. You don't want to just sit in between 2 players and get sandwiched and get destroyed and stuff. So think about your maneuvers and think about how you're going to take on these situations, manage your consumables, and you can have a lot of fun out there. So let's get on with the build. So the weapons. The weapons are a full complementary loadout of Fire Bombards 3. And if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm sure you could have guessed that. So I'm using these as they are extremely powerful, and I have pretty much had the build from other ships ready to go. I just needed to upgrade the Fire Bombards pretty much. So in this, there was a lot of the stuff that I already went and gathered and unlocked and crafted up. I shifted over to this, and we've upgraded to the Fire Bombard 3s. They do a ton of damage, and they also do fire damage, which we will use a piece of furniture to reap some benefits with. And they, I mean, you saw it in the videos. They are very, very effective at having fun. So for the auxiliary slot, we are using the Leopard 2s. Leopard 2s give me a lot of pressure, and it can zone people out. Just that giant circle, they know that there's something big's coming in, and it's probably a mortar. So a lot of people try to either evade it, or they'll burn stamina trying to brace it, and it basically, you're putting someone under pressure with the mortar. So it's why I'm using the mortar. Plus, rockets can be very, very difficult to hit if someone's, trying to be evasive. You a lot of the times you can miss. And I'm sure if you get good, maybe I just suck, but if I get good at it and probably use it for a while, maybe I can get some good stuff with it. I do plan on maybe trying it with a close range build that I want to try out. But for now, for this build with the Fire Bombard 3s, we are using the Leopard 2s. Real quick, on the Fire Bombard 3s being sort of the meta, I personally don't agree with that. I wish or want the cannons damaged to be buffed. I think that the Fire Bombards allow you to burst someone down in between repair kit cooldowns, and I think that some of the other weapons damage should also be buffed up to facilitate for that, as there is a window that you can really get to someone. So the armor I'm using is the Custodian, or the Royal Custodian hull armor, and basically it's extremely easy to get. If you don't know how to get it, put down some comments and stuff, and I can show you how to obtain the Royal Custodian armor. It is relatively easy. I think you just have to do like a legendary heist or something, and you'll get it as a drop reward for killing the boss. I have 3 of them. They're relatively, like I said, easy to obtain. And what they provide is 1,150 armor, which is pretty decent. A nice spread in resistances. I'd personally rather have 12 on piercing and 30 in fire with the current state of the meta, but beggars can't be choosers. It's still pretty decent. It also comes with a perk, Refortify, which will give you 35% armor for 12 seconds when you use a repair kit. So that's why you saw me using repair kit 1s. They have a 20-second cooldown, which means you have an 8-second window where you won't have this if you're spamming them, for example. I will use repair kit 1s to sometimes pop and then engage. You saw that I used that strat on one of the players in the clips. So definitely something to think about when you're fighting. I've said this before. Think about your repair kits, think about your cooldowns, and what sort of suits, what's best for that situation, I should say. For the furniture, my major furniture I'm using is Scrapper Station. This gives me a lot of survivability, especially when I'm taking on multiple players. So restoring 8,000 hull after a crew attack. This is really, really handy and can come in clutch. You saw it come in clutch for me, where I was going to die if I didn't have this. And I managed to get a crew attack off, and then I managed to use a 50% repair kit. Boom, we're back to full HP. And we're continuing with the fight. So in the second slot, we do have the balanced mast. Now this slot you can change to whatever suits you. Personally, I went with this. This gives me a little bit better ability to manage my ship, be evasive, slowing down allows you to turn quickly. So a lot of the times, if you see how I fight, a lot of the times I can turn inside of players, and that's because I do slow down just to do that, and then I'll speed back up. So when managing that is quite nice. In the third slot, we have Bombard Works. This gives me 19% elemental damage to my bombards. This is pretty nice. It just gives me extra damage to my bombards. If you're using any sort of weapons, I think you should put this on for the corresponding furniture for the corresponding weapon. For the fourth slot, we have Iron Cladding Station. This increases my ramming by 25%. And the reason I'm doing that is because of the ship bonus. So if we have a look at the ship, you'll see that the perk that we have is Bullhorn. Increase damage from ramming by 45% and reduce the duration of torn sails effect by 80%. Applies flooded to an enemy ship upon ramming. So this is why you see me playing pretty aggressively. Getting these rams, and I can show you real quick actually a clip of the guy was at half HP, but you'll see in the clip. So in this clip I'm going to show you how much damage this ramming can do. So this player here comes to intercept me. He has half HP, so I do warn him. I said, hey, you don't have to do this, but he shoots me, so we're going all out on him. I should throw the pressure mortar, come in with the ram, 2 front shots. That was a 6,986 damage ram. For my 5th furniture slot, we are using Gunpowder Bench 1. And what this will do is it will increase my damage when I set someone ablaze, which when I'm using fire bombards is pretty easy. And having the extra damage is just nice, coupled with everything else. And that will conclude this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed filming it. It was a blast fighting all those players. It was definitely a really good time. I hope I showcased the build well enough and you can see sort of the little things that I do to remain successful in these fights, because it does get pretty hairy in some spots. And we'll see you on the next one. You all take care now.